Your NFL Sundays are about to get a whole lot more magical. When you bundle NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV, you get the most live NFL games all in one place. And with multi-view, you can watch up to 4 games at once, so you can catch all the action right from the comfort of home. Watch every game every Sunday on NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV. Sign up now at youtube.com/Sunday Ticket. Device and content restrictions apply. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games.
Welcome, dear listeners. Welcome to the 24-25 EFL season here at the Den. My name is Nick Hart. You are listening, of course, to Achtung Millwall, the number one Millwall podcast. You're in the midst of a tribute to the late Matthias Sarkic. There's a big video playing on the main screen here. Round of applause just before the video started playing in memory of Matthias. A real talented goalkeeper. I mean, major blow to lose him back in June. Just on the brink of his career really taking off. There's a tragic story there, isn't there? He's just playing his penalty save at Swansea, and the tribute has been posted online with Neil Harris and Jake Cooper speaking so eloquently about their friend and colleague, Matthias. Like the Ian Jury song says, the beauties really were brief, but a great goalkeeper. It's a really nice mural that's going to be unveiled this afternoon at the Coldblow Lane end, I think. His parents and his partner Phoebe are in the stadium, I understand. I hope they're touched by that reception. Must be very difficult for them. There we are, dear listeners. And there are his parents, Matt's parents down away to my right where I'm standing, listeners. I think his two brothers are here and his partner, Phoebe. Applause for the Watford fans. I can't see them, I believe they're joining in for the tribute. Back to business, dear listeners. We've got 3 points, opening game of the season, as I've said already. Here come the two teams. Your Lions this afternoon probably picked themselves, given the injury crisis that we started the season off with. In goal is our first chance, really, my first chance to see Lucas Jensen, new signing, obviously, as we all know. The loss of Matthias Sarkic forced a goalkeeper signing, 2 goalkeeper signings with substitute Liam Roberts on the bench. But anyway, Lucas Jensen in goal, a back line. This one could have picked itself a few years ago, really. But anyway, Ryan Leonard, Jake Cooper, and the return of Hutch. He didn't leave us long, did he? Sean Hutchinson back alongside Jake Cooper. Jeff Tanganga, of course, suspended. On the left of them will be Joe Bryan, who apparently is a man rejuvenated after an operation over the summertime. Apparently running really well. Going to wait to see some of that this afternoon. In front of the back 4, we have Jules Saville, Casper Delors starting today. In front of the 2 defensive midfielders, we have Jules Honeyman, Romain Esse, Duncan Watmore, and leading the line this afternoon, Tom Bradshaw. Sitting on the bench this afternoon, Roberts, as we said, Danny McNamara probably felt himself a little bit unlucky to be benched, but there it is. Kevin Nisbet, big season for Kevin Nisbet. New signing, Macaulay Langstaff. Aidomo Emakhu's on the bench. Lee, I think it's Tom Leahy on the bench. Smith, don't know his name. Alfie Massey, a prospect, and Wes Harding. I don't know about you, dear listeners, it's good to get back down the Den. It seems to have been a long summertime. I don't know why. It's no longer than any of the others we've had in recent times, but it just seems to have been stretched out an absolute eternity. So good to get back down here this afternoon. The ground is reasonably full. There's some space underneath the family stand opposite and a few seats around me, which I don't mind. Otherwise, I'd say 90% full, which is going to be another decent crowd. The Two teams are lined up in the centre circle, around the centre circle with Reeves in the middle. Nice touch for the Watford fans, applauding. Nice way to start the season. Today's game is, of course, along with every other EFL fixture, dear listeners, being beamed around the globe via the new TV deal with Sky Television. Going to be loads and loads of 12:30 starts, so we've got to get used to this. Friday nights and Sundays. We are underway, dear listeners. Caught me by surprise. A couple of minutes after 12:30, I think the referee was keen to get on with it. Probably his TV deal punishes him if he kicks off late. I was actually wondering whether to carry on doing these kinds of shows now that we've got so much TV coverage, because when it first began doing this, it was because, largely speaking, we were very rarely televised back in the days of League One, and been doing it about 10 years now, one way and the other. But I thought, well, what the hell, I like doing it, and subject to circumstances, I'll carry on doing these kind of in-game comment shows. I hope you like it too. Anyway, here comes the free kick. George Honeyman takes it short. That's one of those training ground routines from Jill Saville that went high and wide. If it was an Australian rules football, he wouldn't even have made the point post. I should comment on the new kit. I quite like it. It looks quite nice from distance. Saw a few shirts walking down Ilderton Road on the way round to the ground. Kind of a dark blue top. It's similar to the early 90s Coldblow Lane season, last season at Coldblow. All you older listeners. Dark blue top, white bottom half, dark blue shorts and dark blue socks. I like it. Watford this afternoon in their traditional yellow, red ensemble. Ball down the wing there by Joe Bryan. I think Watmore would have been a greyhound to catch that. Midfield tackle there, crunching tackle by Sav. Watford do bring it away. The bounce of the ball went their way. This is the 8 on the left. Great tackle there, great tackle by Ryan Leonard. Goal kick. Managed to get his tackle and get the ball off his winger behind for a goal kick. Player of the season continues on into the first game of the new season. The Watford fans, I did a show midweek with, I think it's called Voice of the Vic podcast. And they were in ultra depressive mood. One chap was predicting a 23rd finish for Watford. So, I know I'm trying to be realistic, dear listeners, for Millwall, but I've never predicted us to get relegated at the start of the season. Well, tactically, I suppose I don't think it's going to be any great surprise to anybody. We're adopting a similar setup to the one that we finished last season with, really. We maybe don't have many other options with the squad as it is. 4-2-3-1 kind of defines itself, but so far we're showing plenty of vigour. I don't think Romain is quite on the ball at the moment. Hopefully that'll come as the game wears on. Speaking to the Southwark News, Romain Esse said, I want to kick on this season, really make a name for myself. He's excited for a fresh championship challenge. He talks about his need to do work off the ball as much as on the ball. I think that's what Neil Harris would have drilled into him since his return back in February. Incidentally, there's another piece on the same website where Neil Harris compares the survival last season, one of his, up there with his greatest managerial exploits. I think he's right. I personally thought we were looking dead and buried back in February, didn't you, listeners? It all began, of course, with that magnificent win at Southampton, but the achievement of sustaining, of kicking and scratching and biting every single challenge, goal, chance and survival was a magnificent one. Ball breaks, 45 now on the right side. He cuts in, there's a shot from distance. Lucas gets down, scrambles it round. It's actually a difficult daisy cutter shot at the right side corner. Jensen pushes around from right sided corner. It's been made a nervy start so far. We're coming towards the halfway mark in the first half. But this is still the second right-sided corner for Watford. They've come into the game a little bit. It's gone straight in the net. Goalkeeper's flapping at it, gone straight in the net from a right-sided corner. Bloody hell. It's not exactly a moment of glory for Lucas Jensen there. Put into the box, and he's flapped at it, it's gone over his head into the far post in the net. 1-0 Watford, 22 minutes. Nicely done, Roman picks the ball up under a bit of pressure. Millwall now have a chance to move the ball to the left side. 32 minutes. Saville. Honeyman now. Millwall moving the ball a little bit more freely. This is Ryan Leonard. Finds Honeyman on the right side. Nice passing move, Millwall. Not an awful lot to aim at in the box. Brian screaming for the ball on the left. Arms crucifix style. This is Tom Bradshaw, ball into the box. Defender scuff. There's not enough presence in the box, listeners. Nice ball in, but no one there really. Grey skies, been a bit heavy temperature wise this afternoon. A little cool breeze just decided to blow. That's quite pleasant. The flags are flapping in that little wind on the Docker stands. I did read the club have announced that there's going to be development starting around the Den, not ours, but certainly Renewal have got the go-ahead to start their part of the building. This is a ball down the left side. This is Watford's ball in. Jensen takes like a little crossing from the left side. Yeah, I'm just looking to my right across the back of the Cold Blow Lane end. Off in the distance, there's a tower block being built. So I'm guessing that, going to start to see what they call it, the transformation of South Bermondsey. Which has taken a long while to come to pass, but it sounds like it's going to start. The one good thing I did read, which I'll believe when I see it, is a London Overground station at the Surrey Canal end. So it'll be a station for the ground, which will suit me just fine and dandy. All they need to do then is do an extension straight outside my front door, and I'll be laughing, dear listeners. Like I say, I'll believe all that when I see it. This is George Saville on the right side. We're on 36 minutes. Watford with everyone behind the ball. It's for Millwall to break them down now that we've conceded that soppy goal. And it was a soft goal. That's a bad touch there from Jake Cooper. It's a great interception by Sean Hutchins, who cleaned up there. That was got away from Jake there. The 19 was free, but it was a nice sliding tackle by Sean Hutchinson, who's fitted back into that back line like he's never been away. He probably hasn't really ever been away, has he? Millwall not breaking with much pace or verve, dear listeners. There was a ball out from Jensen there. We've kind of stopped halfway inside our own half and taken it backwards. That's not going to be the style of, approach that's going to get us much joy here at the Den. It's like we're soaking up pressure that isn't coming at the moment. SA on the right. Cuts inside. He's got Denor. Finds what more beautiful take and turn. It gets clipped. Oh! Honeyman hits the post. Cleared off the line. Surely he got clipped there. That's got to be a penalty. Referee's having none of it. Honeyman hits the post. Watmore got flattened there. The referee and linesman giving nothing. 38 minutes. Where's VAR when you need it, dear listeners? Unlucky. That was Mill's best chance, only chance of the half. George Honeyman slamming home the ball that ran loose, hitting the post. Very unlucky. That's better, Millwall. Build on that. Build on that. Crowd getting behind that. Incidentally, I don't know if you read the letter, email sent out, general email sent out from new managing director, I think is his job title, Mark Fairbrother, who I've met. Nice bloke, Mark. Met him last year when he was doing commercial management, I think. Yeah. But anyway, this is now Denor on the right. This is Honeyman on the right side. Ryan Leonard floats the ball in, falls to Duncan Watmore. Offside. The referee's given offside there. Talking about the training ground move to Brands Hatch, which seems to have hit an issue of costs. I can imagine that costs have boomed in the recent times, and I don't think that the scale of plans that the club had Brand's actually been phased in, if that's inverted commas, possibly scaled down a little bit. I think they're still committed to the move, but it'll be in time. I can't argue with it really. I mean, I don't think anyone wants to see the club stretch itself to build a training ground that's in Kent. Some more works are planned for Calmont Road in Downham. And I wasn't aware, but apparently we've got a deal with Blackheath Rugby down at Well Hall these days. They play off of Kidbrook Lane, the rugby club down there. The referee letting a lot go. It breaks. This is Tom Bradshaw. Feeds Ramon Esse on his right side. Now it's outside the edge of the box. Tries to jink his way into the box. Runs into two defenders. Mill's starting to build him a head of steam. So it works to Downham, to Calmont Road, and some agreement with Blackheath Rugby at Well Hall. So it'll be a while yet before the club decamp to Brands Hatch, dear listeners. I think that was what I read between the lines of Mark's email. It's taken short. This is Joe Bryan on the left. He takes his man on. That's going to go for a corner. Left-sided corner. Yeah, Joe Bryan's haircut, listeners. It's a kind of like a blonde dye. I'm thinking like male dancer in a Hot Gossip, circa Kenny Everett show, late 70s. That kind of look. I might have one done myself. I might go to my barber's next day, make me look like Joe Bryan. In comes a corner from Jules Honeyman. It's batted away by the goalkeeper. Bryan puts it high over the bar, point after touchdown. There's the half-time whistle. Disappointing half, really, by the Lions. We livened up a little bit as it went along. They're unlucky to hit the post of Jules Honeyman late in the half. But a soft goal to concede, goalkeeper error. Neither side really looking all that exciting, to be quite honest with you. It's been a scruffy half, and let's hope we can reform at the break. Anyway, at the half-time, it's Millwall 0, Watford 1.
Achtung, Millwall.
Both teams coming out for the second half, dear listeners. I've just been flicking through X. Some fairly realistic comment, I suppose. Based on what has been a fairly scrappy first half with a soft goal to concede. Finton O'Toole speaks of the lack of speed from midfield, so that SA, when we are finding him, finds himself surrounded by yellow shirts and no blue shirts, so the need for attacking speed. Nice banner. Apparently there was a banner held up at the Watford end, which I didn't see, dear listeners. R.I.P. Matthias Sarkic before the game, which is really nice. Nicely done by Watford fans. And the man in block 11 is doing a running commentary this season on the fate of a bit of turf over in the far corner over by the family stand. So well done, the man in block 11 for that. Well, that should be reading that horticultural input with interest. Bit of scrappy turf in the corner of the pitch, apparently. We're away for the second half. I think I missed out my traditional start to the half of Mill attacking the Coldblow Lane end in the second half, as per the dictums and writings of the Venerable Bede. I missed it at the start. I'm out of practice. I'm like Ramon Esse, a bit rusty, a bit on the Mill side. Saville gets clipped. There's going to be a free kick on the halfway line inside the first minute of the second half. Yeah, I was looking through some of the pundits, the people in the know around the championship scene. Most of them name Leeds, Burnley and Luton as their promotion favourites. One or two, whisper it, have us as relegation candidates. Based on what I've seen in the first half, unless we can find some... Ball falls loose, there's Hutchinson from a free kick. It runs now to Jules Saville. This is now Jules Honeyman on the right side. He checks, can he get his cross in? He can, he floats it into the middle, there's no one there. A couple of times we've looked a little bit lightweight, as Neil Harris said, light up front whenever balls coming or chances get created. Yeah, so one or two have us down as relegation candidates. Ouch. Incidentally, dear listeners, all of our advertising revenues get donated to the Lions Food Hub. I was very pleased that they'd be able to donate £360 to the Lions Food Hub. And also a big thank you to everyone that listens to the show, because that's how we get that money. We donate it over to the Food Hub. We don't do it for any other reason. Love is what we do this show for, dear listeners, and also the chance to make some money for a great cause, fantastic cause, Lions Food Hub. Can I also request humbly voicemails, post-match voicemails? I really love doing the voicemail show. I've sent out a couple of posts on X. If you do want to send voicemails into the show, then give me a shout, message me. We can exchange mobile numbers and send me it by WhatsApp. Dead easy. Love to hear from you. Makes a great show. Really appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Nick. Anyway, but game is back in flow again. A couple of minutes into the second half now, one way or the other. At what point will we see Macaulay Langstaff, dear listeners? Will we see him come on with Tom Bradshaw? Will it be same approach? There's SA getting clipped as he make a jinking little run in on the right side there. It's going to be a free kick, Millwall. Hunting with his arm raised. Floats it into the mix. No, it hits the crossbar again. It was like a point-blank header. Was that Hutchinson? I couldn't see who that was. Point-blank header hits the post. No luck at all today, listeners. 50 minutes. Wow. Hard to tell from the replay who that was. I thought it was Hutchinson. I could be wrong. So the second time we've hit the woodwork in the course of the game, dear listeners. No luck. Like the blue song says, if it wasn't for the bad luck, we wouldn't have no luck at all. Bunch of guys just coming alongside me, Europeans, manfully clutching their beers. I don't think they realise they're going to get slung out. Anyway, good luck to them. Watford on the break. The 8 goes past Leonard, who clips in. Probably going to get a yellow for that, I reckon. He will do. 55 minutes. Free kick for Watford. Probably about 30 yards out, just left of the D. Yates going to take. 2-0. Fine strike from distance. In the left side. That's 2-0 down. Oh, well, hard to see us coming back from this one, dear listeners. We've shown very little imagination with the ball. And Watford have, so that was a good chance. They've taken that very well. Obviously, the first goal was a gift. Second one, very much of their own making. So 2-0. They're all getting very bogged down, a lot of yellow shirts, and we're finding it very difficult to get past them, dear listeners. We are on 50, 58, 59 minutes. Hard to see what kind of changes we can make as well. We've looked, we've hit the post twice. Let's say that. Unluckily. That said, we've looked a bit uninspirational, if that's such a word. And it's hard to see where that's going to come from at the moment. Neil Harris was talking about the fear factor being back at the Den. I'm not sure we've generated much fear factor this afternoon so far, dear listeners. We're on 60 minutes. Overall, apart from the hitting of the posts twice, we've created very little. Millwall substitute looks like it's going to be Macaulay Langstaff for his home debut. Good applause. Number 17 coming into the game. I'm going to guess Bradshaw coming out. No, 25. It's going to be SA comes out. Not looked effective this afternoon, Romain, in all honesty. Aidomo comes in for Jules Honeyman. Long period of treatment there. That's Ryan Leonard, who's been down for some time, receiving a head bandage. He's up. Will he carry on? Good 5 minutes worth of treatment there. Looks like he wants to carry on. Brave boy. He's taken a smack on the head. The Watford player there was also bandaged. There must have been some severe clash of heads. Anyway, back to the action after that long break, listeners. It's a free kick on the right side. It's going to be Joe Bryan to take it. There'll be some time now. We're on 22 minutes, almost halfway through the second half, but that will be added on at the end of the game. In comes the cross from the free kick. Ball's on into the melee. It's loosely dealt with by the Watford defence. Saville can't get hold of it. That gives him a chance to break. If they go 3-0 up, I think it's good night Vienna. Denor takes control of the situation and clears it in the face of the oncoming Lucas Jensen concedes a throw-in, but had to do what he had to do there. Nod down from Bradshaw, finds Watmore, goes surging past his man on the right side. Checks and cuts inside. Emakhu takes and shoots on target, but his block's gone for right side corner. 25 minutes in the second half. What's that? 70 minutes on the clock. Plus whatever injury time we get added now. A goal will transform the mood of the day. It's been a bit depressive for the bulk of the game, to be quite honest with you, dear listeners, but a goal in the wake of that injury to Ryan Leonard will transform. There's a ball into the box that's headed over, free header it looked like. Both players, looks like Watmore and Hutchinson, I think, clutching their heads in despair. We'll keep in possession well, a little bit of pressure now from the Lions. This is Emakhu on the left. Nice cross. Watmore from close range, fell into his path. He slams it home from close, ball in from the left. Aidomo Emakhu, the creator there, it falls into the path and Duncan Watmore slams it home. Game on, for 73 minutes. Just watch that, ball in from Emakhu, it rebounds off a defender into the path of Duncan Watmore, who slams it home with a plomb from close range. So 2-1 now, Watford. Brought the crowd to life. We've got about 16 minutes to go of regular time plus any injury time. Brought the crowd to life. Had very little to get behind for the whole game. I know we hit the woodwork twice, but there's not been much else to go with. Pace of Emakhu goes past two men now, unluckily tackled on the third chance there. He certainly brought some life into this Millwall side, Aidomo, since he's come into the game. Watford do have possession though at the moment, before I go too far with the praise. Another substitution pending, 2 substitutions pending. Danny Max coming in for Ryan Leonard, who has earned his pay this week. He's coming out battered, he's got a bandage, took a whack in the mush. He's coming out. Nisbet coming in for George Honeyman, for Tom Bradshaw. Ball breaks. Emakhu going down the middle like a bullet express train. Gets clipped. 5 screaming, he got the ball, he got clipped from behind now. Should be a yellow card. He's a fast, direct, running player. I love Aidomo Emakhu. Oh, hold up, what's gone on there? Fisticuffs? Joe Bryan went flying like a skinny latte that came off of a tray at Costa Coffee. A little bit of pushing and shoving out there now. What's going on? I think he might have made more of that actually. Yellow card shown. And yellow card for Joe Bryan. I think Joe Bryan is finding his theatrical side, dear listeners. He went skidding along on his knees there. But anyway, back to the action. Falls to Aidomo. Can't quite get it under control, unfortunately. Joel Savile on the break now. Over to Duncan Watmore. Yeah! Watmore fires in! 2-8! Right side fires in at the left side post. 2-all Millwall! Then goes berserk! Lovely pass picked out by Joel Savile. Finds Duncan Watmore. Let's watch it again. I thought he put it the wrong way. It feeds over to Duncan Watmore, who puts it away very calmly indeed off the left post. 2 each. Can we press on here, listeners? I think the game's still to be won. There's going to be plenty of injury time added on here. Both sides will feel they should have it. Let's see what we get. 24. It's gone in the fucking net. I thought it looked offside. I want to see that again. 3-2. Fucking hell. No offside. Ball in from the left side of the 9 had a flick header. He's got yellow carded for his celebration. 3-2 now. Fucking hell. Oh, poor ball there. Oh, ball breaks. This is ball into the middle. Oh! Reflex shot inside the 6-yard box. The goalkeeper gets down well and clutches at the second attempt. Ball in from the right side there. That was Watmore, I think, putting the ball in there. Saville gets clipped. Free kick. Joe Bryan lining up to take. Into the wall. Back into the mix. Oh! Close range chance. I think offside's been given. Well saved by the goalkeeper. He's really saved their bacon this afternoon, dear listeners. Well, it'll depend on how much extra time has been added, listeners. There it is. 3-2 Watford. Defensive errors did for us today, dear listeners, from the opening goal, which was a goalkeeping error from the free kick, to claw our way back into a game as we did was excellent. We've unluckily hit the post twice. We've done well to get back to 2 each, and then another defensive error, or what looked like loose defending from memory, allowed the third goal. 3-2 to Watford. Some good stuff, some average stuff, and maybe that'll be a marker for the season. I don't know. There we are. Anyway, it finishes 3-2. Man of the match for Millwall. I'm going to go with Duncan Watmore. I thought he looked dynamic the whole game. So Duncan Watmore for me. Anyway, there it is from the den. Millwall 2, Watford 3.
Achtung, Millwall.
Huge welcome on the show now to show regulars. Welcome back, Graham, after 3 months of purgatory. It's a Saturday afternoon purgatory, Graham, isn't it?
Hello, Nick. You summed it up perfectly, I think.
Oh, it's Millwall 2, Watford 3, dear listeners. Just been listening to my live input. Graham, I was just saying off here, mate, I find it quite a strange game to sum up, because back home now, obviously, I had a chance to look at the goals on Sky and some of the incidents. I mean, I thought it was a strangely flat performance for the most part from us. I didn't think we were very good for the most part, mixed with some fire in the belly once Emakhu came on, and also a large dollop of bad luck, really, because you could bad luck, and where it meets errors is a hazy area, but goalkeeping slapstick and bad luck when we hit the post twice. It's a strange mixture, isn't it? I don't know how to really sum up that game for listeners. A kind of an odd cocktail of bad luck and bad judgement.
Yeah, I think you've summed it up perfectly. It was it was hit the post twice. The first one, it came back to him and he hit the guy on the line, which I don't know how he did that. And then obviously the goalkeeping error for the first, and some are saying, for the second, was he out of position? I haven't seen the second goal back from the game itself, but
yeah,
I don't know. I think we only seemed to start playing when Emakhu came on, if I'm honest. But
yeah, well, he brought pace and direct. His mindset is a direct one. He wants to get the ball, run fast and hard. He goes past players. I think his pace takes him past players. He's a skillful boy. And it's noticeable how we fired up as soon as Emakhu came in. I mean, just to run over the team for the listeners, obviously Lucas Jensen had a mare today. Listeners, I don't think we can really dress it up in finer clothes, to be honest with you, Graham.
No.
For whatever reason, he had a mare today. Backline, Leonard, Cooper, Hutchinson and Joe Bryan. Denora and Saville in front of them. Then the attacking three of Honeyman. Essay, who I thought was poor again today in many respects. And Duncan Watmore, I thought, was my standout player today, Graham. And Bradshaw up front, with various substitutions as the game went along. But, the opening goal, comedy cuts time, isn't it? I mean, I've looked at it. I have seen the goals on Sky. There's a quite a nicely done highlights package on YouTube, Sky Sports YouTube listeners. But I mean, the goal, I think Neil Harris described it as he wouldn't want to see it in an under-12 match. You might see it at Beckton Park on a Sunday morning, but it just flaps at it. Like I compared it with my two cats. They fought over the scrunch toy this morning, and they're both up on their back hind legs, waving their paws at each other. Well, that was a bit like Lucas Jensen there, Graham.
Yeah, well, I was going to say there was an error last week in the friendly where he, again from another cross, and he dropped it straight, and the guy scored. Yeah. And this one, I mean, for the guy his size to be, I don't understand. He's 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah, built like a giant.
Just flapped it. It went straight in.
Under no pressure. No pressure. I thought he was balked in because I'm a long way away from it in real time. I thought he maybe had been balked by one of ours or one of theirs. But when you watch it, I mean, he's kind of run into Jake Cooper. I think looks around wondering what on earth's going on. He's just misjudged the flight. It's just come out too far forwards off his line, misjudged it, and it's just poor goalkeeping. I mean, there's no other word for it. The Honeyman chance where there was an opening moment where Watmore came in. I thought we were really unlucky because I thought that was a penalty, and I've looked at the replay of it. And I think it was a penalty. I think that the poor referee, so there's more bad luck to be heaped on our bad luck cocktail day. But it looked like he got caught on the ankle. But then it fell to Honeyman, who hit the post and then hit the man on the goal line with his second chance. Bad luck. Bad luck. Or errors. I don't know what you want to call that. But there's a fine line between the two. I mean, I apart from that, I thought we were huffed and puffed in that first half. We didn't really show much. I thought we didn't really know what to do to break down Watford. I think Neil Harris, I read him, he said we worked out to get round their sides. I thought, well, yeah, but we can work that out quite early, can't we? But we couldn't do it.
It goes back to something that, it's been brought up many a time. It's been a problem for years, seasons and seasons, and it's the lack of creativity. There was a guy, their guy, number 8, I can't think of his name. I think he's a Georgian guy.
He's the goal scorer, Chuck.
Yeah, he got the free kick.
Chuck Vertadze.
He's the sort of player we're crying out for. He gets the ball, he runs with the ball, draws the defence in, and then slips the ball left and right. And we haven't got that person until it obviously changed when Emakhu came on. But up until that point, we're just knocking it around, trying to get round the sides all the time.
Yeah.
SA, I'm going to say, I've said it in the chat, SA is not a winger.
No.
He's going to play him there, but he is not a winger. I agree with you today. He was poor, but he is not a winger. And it looked much better with Watmore on the right and SA on the left. Maybe that's something that he'll try.
I agree. I mean, in fairness to Romain, he's clearly a talent. He's clearly a promising player. Yeah. And they crowded him today. I mean, there was every time he had the ball, there seemed to be yellow shirts in front of him. They've identified him as a potential danger. They also know that Zian Fleming's not going to be playing today because he's carrying a knock. So there we are. They did their homework. I didn't think much of them for the most part.
No.
Watford. I thought that was one of the most frustrating parts about the first half, Graham, that we were struggling to work out a pretty. I mean, if we hadn't gifted the goal to them, they wouldn't. They were showing nothing going forwards, in my opinion, in the first half. So 1-0 at half time on a fairly scrappy 45, but there we are. The goal, the free kick goal in 55, which was the guy you've mentioned, the 8, Chak Vertadze. I mean, some were saying online that Jensen was at fault. I think that's a stretch. I think that's a harsh one because it's a really well struck free kick from distance. Well placed. I suppose if you're being a harsh judge, maybe Neil Harris might have this conversation with him behind closed doors. He's been beaten from a long way out, so that's never good from a goalkeeping point of view. But I still think it was more a well-struck free kick for me than it was poor goalkeeping for 2-0. I thought we were really up against it at that point, Graham. I couldn't see... Yeah. I think we'd hit the post before that. I think that was before that
Saville.
goal.
Saville with a
post from close range. Yeah. And that was a free kick, dead ball situation. I think that was pre the goal. But anyway, there we are. We hit the post second time in the game. More bad luck. And then we've gone 2-0 down from a very decent strike, in my opinion. That's how it was. And we looked a bit adrift. And I thought, well, this is a worrying start to the season, Graham, because, we've had not the big build-up. We've all tried to keep it realistic, but I think you always hope for a bit more fire in the belly. Opening day game at the Den, you didn't seem to be seeing it, did we? At that point. And then in came our shining light for the afternoon. He combined with our other shining light, which was Emakhu coming in, and he worked well with Watmore. I thought it was actually one of Watmore's better games that I've seen in a Mill shirt. 2 goals today.
He could have had a hat trick at the end. He should have scored, made it through.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm unlucky there. That's the way it goes. Football goes, I suppose. But as soon as Emakhu came in, I mean, you've said it already. We looked far more direct, pacey, and not. I take your point about their number 8. I thought was a good player. Emakhu's probably about as close as we've got to someone that can take the game by the scruff of the neck just by sheer pace and power. I thought it was really impressive when he came in.
You could tell they were worried about him. So many times did he get chopped down? At least 3 or 4 times. They were seriously worried about it. And
absolutely.
He made the difference. And I said to the guy, when we scored the first goal, I turned around and said, we can win this. I was convinced that we could go on and win it because I thought, they're not a great side. We've now got a bit of impetus, and I thought we could go on and win it. And when we got the equaliser, I thought, let's get the winner. And obviously, no, but that's just things. But I think Emakhu has got to start the next game, whether it be the cup game or the next league game.
Certainly league game.
I can't see the point of keeping him on the bench with the way the squad's is at the moment.
No. I agree. I mean, the 2-1 there was the chance that fell to Watmore. It was a lovely little run and cross in from Emakhu on the left side. And it kind of came off a defender and fell into the path of Watmore, who slammed it home. That was a nice finish. 74 minutes, and then we made it 2 each late 88 minutes, and that was a nice pass actually. I thought Saville had misplaced that pass when he got the ball on the left. And I thought, well, that was like the kind of pass that goes behind the forwards rather than into the path for somebody. But he found Watmore on the right, who put it away really, really neatly. I thought that was impressive by Duncan Watmore. So well done to him. He was my man of the match today from the Millwall perspective. As for the winning goal, I've watched it back on Sky. Graham, I don't know if you've had a chance to see it. There's a kind of a healthy dollop of bad luck mixed with some poor defending. Just how many times have I said the word? I'm going to try and make a donation to the food hub every time I say the words bad luck, listeners, in this show. Because the Watford had the ball on the left, and I think it was Saville put a tackle in on the left side, and the ball kind of rebounded as a perfectly flighted cross into the deceived Jensen, who had a poor day. I mean, hopefully gets a good night's sleep tonight. He's got a lot to think about after that performance. But it unluckily fell as a perfect cross into the path of their striker Rajovic.
I mean, the first thing we said on that, because I sit that side, was that he was offside. But obviously, because it's deflection, he's not offside, is he? Or was he not offside at all?
I don't think he was offside at all, to be honest. I think it was fast moving, obviously, and I've looked at it, trying to freeze frame the Sky TV YouTube feed. I even got my ruler out to try and draw a line across the screen like they do with a VAR. But I think he was onside. Hard to take. I think there was flappy goalkeeping. I think you'd want to see a big boy like Jensen. He's got to be told this. Neil Harris, if you're listening, he's got to be told to put 2 fists and his body through the man. We'll deal with that afterwards, because he just came running out a bit. I like Pussycat Willem in our house with their sponge toy again. It was like, come out here.
Yeah, I thought that actually when I thought that exactly the same as you. Like, he didn't fill himself with glory again for the third goal, did he?
He's had a mare, and I think certainly for me, 2 of the goals you could put down to poor goalkeeping, or certainly poor decision making for that third one. I think second one, I think it's harsh if anyone's pinning it on him for that one.
Yeah.
So Jensen and SA looked a bit disappointing overall. But he's got the talent. I mean, good performances, David Marcus, Watman. I thought Saville actually put himself around quite nicely today as well, Graham. But it was one of those days where the football gods snarled rather than smiled upon us. Shame. Good turnout today. Do you think the emotional impact of the Sarkic tribute had any part to play in it? Neil, in his post-match conversations, seemed to say that it was they were playing with too much emotion. I wasn't conscious of that personally, but I think that sounds like an excuse if that's been
came into it at all, mate.
No, I don't personally, but that was one of the points he made.
One thing I would like to say, and it's not really been said, is that that starting lineup is I think 6 of them are over 30, and 2 of them are 30 soon. It's getting a bit of a dad's army team,
Yeah.
The back 4, I think, are all 30. You got Saville, Bradshaw, Watmore. There's.
Well, Leonard Cooper, Hutchinson. I know Brian weren't with us, Graham, but I mean, there's 3 or 4 that, if we turn the clock back to 2017, we said, oh yeah, there's our back line. That's 7 years ago. Danny Mack came in late, didn't he? In the game, because Leonard did get a battering. I mean, what a brave bloke.
Yeah.
I mean, he took
the second one
headshot. He got. Yeah, he got smacked in the face second as well. That's when he came out of the game. You're right. Age. I mean, Hutchinson, I suppose, is only starting really because Tanganga is suspended. He wouldn't expect to start. I wouldn't have thought. Brian, I'm still unconvinced by Joe Bryan, Graham. Can I be honest?
Yeah,
I can be honest. I'll be honest on this show, listeners. Come on. I want to buy the hype. I want to buy his skinny latte. I want to get my hair done like him. But,
you'll be careful, mate. You could be interviewing him on Wall Talk.
I'll ask him where he gets his hair cut and how much it costs him. Oh dear. I want to buy the hype, listeners, Joe Bryan, but I just don't see enough. I was hoping I'd see something today, really, but he didn't. I don't know. Am I being harsh on Joe Bryan? He's an experienced player. He's come from a pedigree background at Fulham. I'd seen him play some decent stuff. I just don't see it. Do you, Graham? I mean, am I missing something?
No. He always, to me, flatters to deceive. To me, there's obviously a player in there, but I suppose, like someone said, if he wasn't at the stage of his career that he is now, he probably wouldn't be at Millwall, would he?
So, he wouldn't be at Millwall,
no, he wouldn't.
No. So there we are. We're stuck with him because Murray Wallace, who I think I probably would have backed today, is our injured. Good old Murray. That would have helped the collective age numbers in that back line, wouldn't it? Denor, I thought, did a good job today, an okay job, and Saville, I always like Saville. He put himself around. Looks like he'd lost a bit of weight. I mean, George.
Yeah, he did actually. You're right there.
George Saville can't afford. He's skinny already, let alone losing more weight. But he looked quite.
He seemed to get more into the game actually when Emakhu come on. I think he was involved with the second goal, and he did seem more involved going forward after Emakhu came on.
I might have I'm sure if you look at the replay of the goal, the opening goal, the flappy cross, corner cross, I think his face is a picture, Saville. I think is a picture of disdain for what he's just seen.
What have we got here?
I think Honeyman was Honeyman. He's always going to give you 100% without being anything inspirational. I mean, I think he could have done better with a chance. And I like Watmore. I thought he did well today.
He did. He did. I agree. He's got to be our man of the match for today. Watmore, definitely.
Yeah. Bradshaw gave his usual Bradshaw performance. The boy Langstaff came in, Graham, and we didn't really see a huge amount. He hit the crossbar. Apparently, I missed that in real time. He hit the crossbar late, apparently.
It was offside, but he did it. He hit the crossbar, and then the referee blew up straight away for offside. Yeah, right at the end it was. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Okay. it was a couple of nice touches. I thought he linked up well with on the left side with Emakhu a couple of times, but I just don't know. I mean, there's talk that he had a toe operation or something. But surely, if he's a new signing, I would have liked to have seen him start, to be honest. But you know what you're going to get with Bradshaw. He runs around, and tries his best. But I would have been quite happy. I mean, there was talk that he was going to go to Wrexham. I would have been quite happy if he'd have gone, to be honest. He's had one real good season in all the time he's been at Millwall, to be honest, with goal scoring wise. Maybe it's time for him to move on.
I think it's that eternal Millwall virtue that he runs and runs and runs. It's that's highly valued, isn't it? I mean, again, I think we've got to keep remembering, listeners, that I've mellowed on this performance as the afternoon's gone along. I had the ump when I got home, but it's mellowed as it's gone along. I think we were unluckier than maybe I gave it credit in real time. But there we are. Opening game of the season, we fall flat on our faces at home to Watford. And we've got a Caribou Cup mouth-watering match at Pompey in the Caribou Cup first round midweek, and then we're away at Bristol City next week. So I mean,
hopefully, I was going to say that cup game. I'd like to see. I only seen a couple of glimpses of him, but he looks a player, and I'd like to see Alfie Massey start that cup game.
He was on the bench today, wasn't he? And
give him a game in the cup.
Leahy as well. He's another one.
Yeah, I mean, they're talking about already. Oh, let's send him out on loan. Well, let's see what he can do. Give him a game in his cup game. And see what he is.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I mean, on a day where we really needed, we had a little bit of inspiration with the arrival of Aidomo Emakhu, but we did need some inspiration on the field. I want to see these boys get out there and have a go. We've lost anyway, so we might as well at least see some have some interest in the game. No, I'm with you on that front.
Do you think, honestly, Nick, we'll get some players in before the window ends? Sorry, mate.
I was hoping that they might produce them out of the bag drop thing that leave out the cupboard like they used to do on the Price is Right or something. I know that comes out signing. We need them, blimey, don't we need them? We need some width, we need some pace. As soon as we got pace in the game today, we looked dangerous.
Yeah.
So I think there's the basis of something. There's a basis of a decent side. I don't want to be too harsh on Jensen. I think he probably is a very good goalkeeper. He's got very nervy today. We paid tribute to a much-loved goalkeeper who's passed away, and he's probably feeling he's got to, he's carrying a burden. Although he certainly had a mare today, but. No, we need, if the board think that they can get through the season with this squad as it is, then I think we will be in the bottom three by the end of the campaign. I mean, I got told off a little bit for being pessimistic. I think I'm being realistic, Graham.
Yeah, realistic.
We're going to struggle unless we can find some action up front. I mean, we actually had a few moments today where balls were going into the box. There was no one there. I mean, that's a couple of moments stick in my mind, especially in the first half when we were attacking our end, and I thought, well, where's the striker? Because the ball came in and there was no one or nothing there. Now, who that striker is or where he might be lurking, I don't know. We've been looking for about 30 years, really, since Cascarino and Sheringham for that striker, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
we had a very late flirtation with Steve Morrison when he was probably near the end of his playing career, really. And we had the Morrow and Greg, but really, we've not really had a decent front man with power. Maybe Matt Smith, but then of course he had his other limitations.
He was at the end of his career when he came to us, when he really, we tried to sign him about 4 times, didn't we? And then we finally got him, and he did a job.
We'll get Kiefer Moore when he's about to draw his old age pension.
That's nailed on, isn't it?
Oh dear, there we are. But no, answer your question. No, we don't just need it. We're crying out for it, Graham. So let's see what we get over the next.
He said it again, Neil Harris, after the game in his interview I heard on Radio London. Again, he's still going on about the players we need. Yeah, rightly so. If anyone who watched that, I don't know if James Berylson was there today, or if he's watched it on his stream. But James, that show today is what you're going to get a lot of without someone up front to put the ball in the net or at least hold it up there properly. Can't keep asking Tom Bradshaw, and it's not really fair on Langstaff or
Nisbet who came into the game.
No.
Actually, I didn't think Nisbet looked that bad in his brief few minutes he had. But then none of them target men, Graham. No, none of them. No. They're all sidekick strikers that will get the chances, not the man that's going to do the battering ram up front. That's what we need.
And that's what anything you read, as I said about Langstaff, is that he knows where the back of the net is, but he's always needs the service. And you know, at Millwall, unless something changes, you know, drastically, he ain't going to get a service, is he? Let's be honest, he's not, because that's the thing. You see it, you know, the amount of goals we score from open play is probably the lowest. It was probably the lowest in the league, I think, last year. One of the lowest, anyway.
Yeah.
But, you know,
let's finish it on a positive. I thought we showed good character to fight our way back to 2 each today, and it was an unlucky late loss. But you know, I thought to fight our way back in when we were 2-0 down and looking pretty dead and buried. That character is to the side's credit. And one other thing I just want to mention, Graham, before we close out, is credit to the clubs. I actually cleaned all the bird shit off my seat today. I could not find one piece of bird guano on that chair, and I was very happy. And I was going to send a message to Mark Fairbrother, but I don't have his WhatsApp now. I've been since Steve Kavanagh got slung out on the strength of my complaints about bird shit. I'm no longer privy to the managing director's WhatsApp number. But I will post a picture of a very clean looking chair in block 1 to say thank you to Mark for arranging that.
It's good to hear that they're finally listening to you.
I was found out. Yeah, there we are. So anyway, but we've ended on a positive note, Graham. That's good. Yeah. Big thank you for coming on the show, mate. I appreciate it. Good to see you again.
Cheers, Nick. No, good to be on, mate.
Yeah, and we'll catch up again soon. And thank you to you too, dear listeners, for tuning in. I'll be back probably on Monday with the voicemail show. But for now, from Graham and myself, it's Arrivederci Millwall. Bye for now.
Social Podcast Network.